Hey, so let me guess, you want to know the top 5 worst neighborhoods in Surrey, British Columbia? Well, I got you covered. In this video, I'm going to be showing you the top 5 worst neighborhoods in this amazing city. But one thing, make sure you guys stay till the end of the video, because at the end of the video, I'm going to be showing you my absolute worst neighborhood in this city. And so you guys want to make sure you guys stay till the end for that, because of the last thing you want to do is have to be staying or relocating out here and staying in that neighborhood. And it's just going to make your stay here not as welcoming, guys. So stay tuned for the rest of the video. Hey guys, it's Aaron Sangier here with Prestige Property Group, and me and my team are actually a team of local realtors out here in Vancouver, British Columbia, and we actually help people that are looking to buy, sell, or just relocate out here to Surrey, Vancouver, and the rest of the Lower Mainland, guys. So first things first, make sure you guys like this video. Hit that button down below, that notification button down below, and that subscribe button down below, so that every week when new videos do continue to keep coming out, you guys are the first people to actually be able to see them, right? And then yeah, so now let's just kind of go on from there. So where I'm actually at right now is I'm out here in, well, I would say, and before I kind of get started in the video, Surrey in general is a great place to live, but obviously I'm just naming off what 5 neighborhoods I would say is some of the top 5 worst, and most people here would probably agree with me too. So the first place that I'm actually going to talk about is where I'm at right now, which is Bridgeview. So Bridgeview is actually located right off of next to King George Highway, and essentially literally right next to Patello Bridge, right? So what it kind of is it's more like more commercial. There's tons of houses, as you can tell, like behind me and stuff like that. There's a lot of houses, residential, family homes here too, and they have been building like a few townhouses and stuff like that, but for the most part it's more detached homes and just commercial properties. So what you'll see is tons of like industrial warehouses here, auto body shops, like trucking yards, like stuff like that. So that's like one of the main reasons I would suggest that if you guys are moving out here to Surrey, don't move out to Bridgeview, right? Because of another thing is it's located literally right next to the main highway and located right next to Patello Bridge. So I don't know if you guys can kind of hear in the background right now, but it is a little loud. It's just based off the fact that Patello Bridge is right here. The highway access is literally located close by. So it just makes it, although it is kind of quiet here, it does make it a little difficult for people to stay. And that's why when we are tending to look for properties out here for clients, what they tend to do is they would rather move somewhere else most of the time, right? And another thing is in Bridgeview, what you'll notice is the housing prices here. I guess if you're kind of strapped on your budget and you're looking for a detached home, this is a great place in regards to that, because you can find like a cheap detached home here, like a 3-bedroom with no basement suite for, like I've seen some for $650, $700K, and you're not going to really find houses for that price range out here in Surrey. So that's like one of the pros, I would say. And like there's parks and stuff like that. Like as you can see, I'm right next to one of the main parks here. They have like a basketball court and playgrounds and stuff like that. But yeah, one of the main reasons I would say it's a con, and I would suggest not moving out here. It's just based off of that, right? The highway access is located really, really close by, like too close, right? To a point where 24 hours a day, you're essentially going to be hearing like trucks backing up. Like you could even kind of hear in the backyard, I'm at back of me right now, is like trucks backing up, because there's so many industrial just warehouse units here, and just so many just businesses that are located by, right? Like trucking companies and stuff like that, auto body shops, like what I told you, right? Just a lot of that type of kind of work is located in this area. So that's one of the main reasons why you'll see that's one of the main reasons why I would suggest not moving out here if you're looking to move out here. Okay, so moving on from Bridgeview, the second place that I'd suggest you not move when moving out here is Bolivar Heights. So Bolivar Heights is actually located right off of King George and like 108. So essentially one difference between Bolivar Heights and here is there's not as many commercial and like industrial like businesses that are located really, really close by, and there's not as much, like as you guys could even see like kind of behind me and stuff, like there's new builds being built right there, there's a new build being built right in front of me in Bridgeview. So it's like one thing you kind of notice about Bridgeview is there's a little bit more newer houses being built, and it does tend to be a little bit more loud than it normally should be. But I guess the one thing you kind of do take into account is the fact that one of the pros about living in Bolivar Heights as opposed to living out here is you're not as close to Patello Bridge and the highway being like so loud, right? Because from Bolivar Heights jumping onto Patello Bridge and the rest of the freeways / highways that are located below to get to the rest of the Lower Mainland, it's honestly like a 5-minute drive. So that's kind of like one of the good things about living over there as opposed to here. But then again, the one thing about Bolivar Heights is here it's a little bit more flat and like livable land. So if you're looking to build or you're just in general living, right, it's easier having a backyard, a yard with a flat yard that you can actually kind of do things, right? Build a playground in the back, play soccer, do some things with your family, right? But the one thing about Bolivar Heights you'll kind of notice is a lot of their the properties there are on like slanted lots. So like they'll be on like a hill, or it'll be kind of in like, they're in some like, you have to go through a lot of smaller roads to try to get around to a lot of the places. So that's like one of the main reasons why again, Bolivar Heights is next to Bridgeview. It's one of the cheaper places to kind of purchase a home, just based off of that fact, right? Is local amenities and stuff like that aren't located as close by, despite the fact that obviously you do have Guildford Mall and stuff like that located there. They don't have tons and tons of amenities located close by in that area, right? And then to take it even a step further, the fact of the matter is that like if out there's a lot more detached homes, and there's like a few townhouses. There is like next to no condos. They're starting to build some now, but for the most part it's literally just like parks like this, detached homes, residential family homes, townhouses, and then the amenities are located somewhat close by, but they're still quite far away. Like the main things that you're gonna kind of be going to, and then yeah, so like that would be my reason why. And then the third place that I would suggest that you not stay when living out here in Surrey, British Columbia is Royal Heights. So Royal Heights is actually located right next to right near North Delta. So the one thing you'll notice about Royal Heights is the amenities that are in North Delta. So Royal Heights is literally located on off of 116 and King George Highway. No, sorry, 116 and 96 Ave. So what you'll kind of see about Royal Heights is it's literally all detached homes, right? On hills. There's parks and stuff like that. So it is somewhat of a great place to raise a family. But again, one of the main cons is the fact that you are living on, it's not a lot of flat land there. Houses that are essentially on slanted lots and stuff like that, right? The whole area of Royal Heights you'll see is it's all on slanted lots, and nothing's really flat in that area. So that's like one of the cons, right, about kind of raising a family there and having a detached home. Because at the end of the day, the one thing about having your own home is you want to be able to do certain things there, right? Have like a playground in the back, get together with friends and family, and maybe even enjoy, like, just have some fun in the back, right? Or in your front yard, or whatever the case may be. But that's a little hard when essentially your house is on an angle, and what you're doing is, it just makes it a little bit more difficult, right? To kind of do the things that you want to do, and even in regards to building and stuff like that. And then another thing is Royal Heights, the closest places, since Queensbury Park is literally right there off of Scott Road and 96, there are tons of amenities located close by. So that is one of like the good things about Royal Heights. But in general, I would say it's one of the worst neighborhoods to live in, just based off of that. So realistically, if you're gonna end up purchasing a home in Surrey, and if you're asking me, if you're gonna pay the same amount, like anywhere from, let's say, a $9 to $950 to get a house with a basement suite, that's actually like turnkey, you're better off just buying it anywhere else in Surrey, right? Because you're going to be paying that much for living in Royal Heights as well. But just the main con is just that fact, right? Like the whole neighborhood is literally on an angle, and it's on like a steep little hill. And so no matter where you're essentially living, your house is going to be on some sort of a slant or an angle or something, right? So then that's another thing. And then another thing is, near Royal Heights there is, again, just like Bridgeview, there is quite a few commercial and industrial warehouses and industrial like just businesses. So you do tend to hear a lot of like that noise, like trucks backing up, like semis backing up, more houses being built. There are quite a few houses being built in that area too, so you're hearing noises of that. The freeway is kind of close by too, so like, again, it's just not a good con. And then going on to our last two, I would say this one's kind of most people wouldn't maybe agree is has kind of a like love-hate relationship is Newton. So Newton is literally one of the main city hubs in Vancouver, but the reason why people have a love-hate relationship with this is either you're gonna have tons of people that want to move out there or tons of people that don't really want to move out there, right? And one of the things that I do tend to run into when I'm helping clients, whether they're Indo-Canadian or not, is some people do tend to not like the fact that there are tons of Indo-Canadian people in that community, and it's not really as much of a multicultural demographic of people that live there as much as it is just a ton of people from like Southeast Asia and like India and stuff like that, right? So to me that's not really an issue because I live near there anyways. But the thing is, to tons of people that we do help and stuff, they don't necessarily want to live there, right? Because they like the one thing that people like about Canada is the fact that there's a lot of diversity and multiculturalism, and most people just feel like when they're living out in Newton, you're just running into the same, I guess, demographic of people, right? Whether it's right or wrong, like that's what you do tend to run into. And then to make matters worse, it does kind of suck when there is a lot of crime in that area too. Like, obviously I don't want to take it too far, but like you do see like drug users and like prostitution and stuff like that off of like King George and 72nd. So that's like one of the main reasons why, again, it's not really necessarily my favorite place if you're asking me, but tons of people do really love moving out there, and I already have, even now I have tons of clients that want to move out there, right? So again, it's like that love-hate relationship. And another, I guess, but like that's like one of the main cons, right, is if you're looking for diversity and multiculturalism and like moving out here and kind of trying to learn a little bit more about it, like how people live in Canada, right, and how people in the area are, that's just one of the main cons. Is when you're going out throughout the rest of the Lower Mainland, Vancouver and Surrey, is you see a lot of different diversity and multiculturalism, but usually when you're in Surrey, like Newton especially, you're just seeing tons of just like Indo-Canadians and just like one sole demographic of people, right, as opposed to what most people kind of associate Canada with is like diversity. And so that's like kind of one of the main reasons why. So that and the crime rate. But then the one thing you'll kind of notice about Newton is it has a lot of detached homes, townhouses, and they're building a lot of condos and stuff there too. So like one of the main pros would be the fact that housing prices there are going to be a little bit expensiver, but the pro is the fact that townhouses and condominiums are being built there a lot more than the rest of these neighborhoods. So that's like one of the main pros as well. All right. And then lastly, it just started to rain here, so I just started to put my hoodie on. So lastly, the last place that I would suggest is Cloverdale. So Cloverdale is from here in Bridgeview, it's about like 20-minute drive. And the one thing you'll kind of notice about Cloverdale is it's a little bit more diverse than let's say like Newton, where you do run into people of all walks of life, right? So like Canadians that have lived here for over the last few decades, to people from Indian people, Chinese people, Japanese, Korean, like there's all walks of life that kind of live over there. So that's like one of the good things about Cloverdale. But one of the main cons and one of the main reasons why I would suggest it's one of the worst neighborhoods to live is like when you're buying a house out there, your housing price value doesn't go up by as much, even though now that's different because if they're building a SkyTrain out there, that might be a pro for you to want to move out there. But then the con comes down to so Cloverdale has less people than actual Surrey, because technically it is its own like city, but it is part of Surrey, right? And the one thing you kind of notice about there is they do tend to have a lot of crime for a place that doesn't have close to as many people as actual Surrey does, right? Like you do tend to see quite a bit of gang violence, drug use over there and stuff too. So like that's like one of the main reasons why you see people kind of not wanting to move over there. Again, it's kind of the same thing as Newton, where it's a love-hate relationship. And the one thing you'll kind of notice about Cloverdale is everything is kind of located close by. There are tons of single-family residential homes, townhouses, and condos as well. And again, freeway access to get to like Langley and stuff like that's easier. But like getting to the rest of Vancouver and stuff like that, it's a little bit more of a pain than Surrey, because here we could just jump on the Alex Fraser Bridge or jump on the Patello Bridge or Port Mann Bridge, and it's really easy. But from over there, it's just going to take you a little bit longer to get to the rest of the Lower Mainland, guys. So hopefully that answered your guys' questions and showed you why what some of the top 5 worst neighborhoods are in this amazing city. So whatever you guys feel is your guys' worst neighborhood, let me know, right? If you live here, let me know what some of your worst neighborhoods are in the area, right? Is it Newton? Is it maybe Queens and Mary Park, Bear Creek Timbers? Maybe it's something different than what I thought, right? And if you're relocating here and you just know a little bit more about the area, let me know so far what you're thinking about, where you're thinking about living and why, right? Just drop that in the comment section below. And then another thing, click that button down below and hit the notification and subscribe button, so that every week when we do put out videos, you guys are the first people to be able to see them. And I'll see you in my next video, guys. Bye.